So Tika After Dark is a representation of all of my sides put together. Tika After Dark, I can give you a little bit of background. My mom actually named me Tika when I was younger. So I've always been labeled a drama queen, always. And whenever I would get into my dramatic bag, my mom would say, okay, Tika. All right, Drama Tika. Like it's short for Drama Tika. So one day, I was sitting around and I was talking to one of my friends and I said, I need a DJ name, but I don't want it to be anything like, cheesy or like DJ, whoop-de-woo. And so I told him that story and he said Tika. That actually fits. So yeah, it was Tika at first. And then the After Dark part came from, it's like an alter ego, you know what I mean? And like there's night and there's day and we're all somebody different after dark. So yes. To trust yourself first and foremost, because you have the sauce to everything. You have like the key to unlock everything. And I think keeping that in mind keeps me I guess like motivated in the sense of when it comes to like DJing for a crowd, or if I'm like trying to learn a new technique or finding new music, whatever it is, it's like I have the sauce. It's just something else that like I have to unlock. It's always inside of me. So I would say like trusting myself to know that like I'm that girl at all times. Something else I've been learning is other than like, of course, like the technical stuff of DJing, to just know like and trust the journey, because something that is for me is always going to find me. And so I don't have to worry about, oh, like this is happening or this is not happening, like trusting myself and trusting the journey. And I think there's billions of lessons that like we could talk all day about this. We can talk all day. There's billions of lessons that like fall under that canopy, but that's really what it comes down to. When I first started DJing, I didn't even have intentions of trying to be anything other than a bedroom DJ. Like it was just a hobby for me. And it's still a hobby for me, but it was a hobby and it was therapy for me. And so I didn't really want to compromise that by, like, I guess taking it too seriously and like, stressing about performing for people or trying to get this thing down because this is, like, no. But I would say because it's always been fun for me, I've always had that mindset in a way, like, okay, this is like, I'm not taking myself too seriously. I didn't start DJing because like I wanted to make a lot of money or I wanted, cloud or whatever the hell, and I think like keeping that in the forefront of my mind is like, yeah, this is fun. You know what I mean? This is fun. I don't have to take myself too seriously because I'm that girl, whether I do this or don't, But I would say when I started performing for crowds and different crowds at that, because I have such a diverse range of music that I play, as we all do, sometimes we deal with a little bit of imposter syndrome or like, wow, like, okay, especially like as you continue to elevate, you get better opportunities, you get bigger sets and things like that. Sometimes you can question yourself like, damn, like, can I do this? Is this really? But honestly, if you weren't capable of doing it, you would not have this opportunity. Like God would not have said, you're ready. Here you go. So I know that's a long way to answer the question, but yes and no. I've always, known that I was that girl.
I know what you mean. And it's just part of being human too. Like sometimes those thoughts like to creep in.
Yeah.
That's great. One thing I've noticed too with DJing, it's a very just intuitive thing. And I love how you said like you are the what'd you say? The sauce.
Yeah.
Like, do you like, would you feel like whenever you're just playing, like it's just an intuition thing, like every song that you pick or you curate every set, what would you say is like?
Yeah, so definitely it is a feeling. But I think it's a two-part thing. It's a feeling, but it's also like you have to, when you're DJing for other people, you have to be able to read the room, you know? Like, just because I feel like this might go, maybe we need to take it in a different direction, you know? Or especially if I know, because one thing I like to do when I spin is take folks on a journey. You know, I want us to start one place and by the end of the set, we're like, dang, like, how did we, I don't know how we got here, but we here. Like, we here. And like, I experienced so many different, you know, vibes and emotions through the set. And in order, if I know that that's my goal for the set, I have to, you know, be intentional with the songs that I'm playing while also playing off of, okay, it's a feeling, you know? Because even if I want to take it one direction, sometimes the energy just be too hot in one area. You like, oh, I got y'all. Like, we're going to be here for a little second. And then we're going to go over there. But right now, we got to stay right here.
We're going to go from light to dark.
Yeah, okay.
Or dark to light.
Dark to light.
That's that TIKA After Dark.
Yes. I would say, honestly, the best way to describe it would be globally ratchet. Yeah. Yeah. Globally ratchet. Like, I like to play a lot of stuff from all around the world, all different sounds and vibes and energies and all that. But I'm from the South. Nashville in this bitch, like 615. Okay, so it's like I have Southern roots in the just the grittiness of like hip hop and, you know, the ratchetness and just like, you know, that honestly, I would describe my style as this. Like, if I'm making you do this, like, I won. Yeah. So globally ratchet.
I love that. And like, I know your work life, you do travel for work. So has that had like a big influence on, just your life?
Oh, absolutely.
And your music taste.
Oh my God. Yes. The traveling has like expanded my mind. Everybody should travel. Like, point blank period. Everybody needs to travel. You got to see the world. I have picked up sounds like sometimes I spin like, South Korean music. Yeah. I went to South Korea like this time last year, and South Korean music, Japanese, like, to, you know, of course, like Miami's my favorite city ever. I love that. You know, spending stuff out there, being in San Diego and like just hearing like the vibes of how they get down. Like, I've been so many places, and I try to put myself in the spaces where like I can be most influenced musically when I go travel, whether that's in like the Japanese clubs are crazy. Yeah, the Japanese clubs are crazy. Where if I'm like in a club environment, or, you know, I've seen like native song and dance performances in Hawaii, or just anywhere, I try to like put myself in a space where I can be like influenced and inspired and be like, yeah, actually, I'm gonna have to run that. These folks ain't gonna be ready. One thing that I really love about being a DJ is what you just said. Like, I can introduce somebody to a vibe that, you know, they've never heard before. Maybe they've heard it, but they ain't heard it in the TIKA way. You know what I mean? Because I can think about times when I've heard sets or music or whatever and just been like, every time I hear this song, I go back to this time, this space, this place. And if I can have somebody experience that, because that's a very like specific feeling. And if I can make somebody experience that through, you know, one of my sets or some music that I've introduced them to, I've won. Job done. Yes. So I grew up, my mama is that girl. Okay, Lori, you that girl. You that girl. Like, because I know she gonna watch this. Yes. Lori put me on to everything. My mom she's born in the 70s, but like she's an 80s kid. So, you know, lots of old school rock, reggae, we was listening to house music. Like, she loves old school hip hop. Oh my god. Like, I was crate digging the other day and I found some stuff that like memory unlocked. Some like the Eric B and Rakim Paid in Full. Like, I don't know the exact edit, but
That's like
no,
old school hip hop. That's the first one of the first hip hop tracks.
That's what I'm saying. So like, my mom, she just listened to everything, and she just didn't discriminate. Like, my mom loves bluegrass. Okay, I'm not a country girly. I'll say that. Like, I'm not a country girly, but that bluegrass, hey, Lori. Okay, and then my dad is from Detroit, so of course, you know, he put me on to just a lot of like just different sounds as well, because he's from Detroit, but we have family in Georgia as well. So like, he's really into like old school like funk. He listens to, of course, like a lot of R&B, hip hop, just like a lot of stuff like that. And so I grew up listening to a lot of that, but of course I'm a 2000s kid. So like, I remember one summer I got my all of my shit taken away from me. I was in trouble, and only thing I had was my radio. This was like summer 2006, so I was listening to like a lot of pop. That was when pop was like 2000s pop is unmatched. And then I got really into pop, and I was like, oh my god, and started doing a deep dive there. So like, my parents just listened to a lot of stuff, which birthed, you know, all these just great records and like sounds in my head, you know. Some of my favorite DJs, I love Joe K. Like, Joe K is so goated. Joe K is probably like, he probably like was one of the first people who inspired me to be a DJ, because his sound is just so different, you know. Like, there's a lot of DJs that spin like Joe K now, but Joe K, like,
that's the originator.
The originator. Oh my god, I love Joe K. Who else? I love DJ Miss Milan. She's fire too. I love all my like Nashville girl DJs. What? Somebody put us on a shirt today.
Ashley, I peeped. I was like,
yo, what? That's hard.
Of course, only a woman would do that.
Only a woman would do that. So, of course, all the Nashville DJ girlies, like, yeah. Yeah, songs that I've been feeling lately. I love Dala by Shinsia. Oh my god, that whole song is an entire, like, just affirmation. Pretty much like, I don't need to be focused on anything else but the money.
That's what you're focused on right now.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yes, the money. I've been listening to Dala. Saki just put out a new album. Shit is fire. What else have I been listening to? All my ratchet shit, per usual, you know.
Per usual.
First of all, I'm DJing for Beyonce doing something. Like, let's start there. Like, Beyonce she's recruited me to DJ something that she's a part of. It don't necessarily gotta be, you know what I mean? But like, she's involved heavily in some sort of way. Location would be somewhere international. It is one of my goals to DJ internationally. I would love to be a tour DJ. So like, I don't know, maybe she's doing like a few, you know, tour stops, maybe like 5 or 6, nothing crazy, you know. And she said, I need TIKA After Dark. And yeah, that's honestly the answer. Cause like, I could like name, you know, like a location, a place, like, but honestly, it's beyond.
Wherever she going?
Where is she at? Honestly, I'm DJing for Baby Blue birthday. Like, it don't matter. I would say, this is gonna be so cliche, but honestly, just keep going. And like, whatever you want to do, you can do it. DJing has opened my eyes up to so many possibilities and just things that, not that I won't say never imagined, but you know how like when you imagine something and it's like, oh shit, it's actually happening. Like this is real. This is my life. DJing has allowed me to experience things like that, moments like that. So I would say take a chance on yourself. Whatever you want to do, you can do it. Don't think about how much time it's going to take, because as long as God's still putting, energy in your body, that time going to pass anyway. So you might as well do it, because one thing you don't want to do is wake up and be like, wow, I should have started doing this a long time ago, and everything has, a time and a season and a place. But if you know your season is now, do it. Because why? Why are you not? You know? You are talking to Tika After Dark. I'm in my room for In Her Room. You can follow me on Instagram at Tika After Dark. That's TIKA After Dark. And you can follow me on SoundCloud as well. It's soundcloud.com/Tika After Dark. Okay? Yeah. Thanks.